Right in the middle of all this, I'm taking care of some stuff, and oh my goodness, I couldn't believe the things that were going on. Like I say, I'm around people who have this, you know, it's not people I know even. I'm talking about going to a store, going to any place, and the people are so dramatic, and is so much about let me rip you off. Okay, I tried to get a pizza, and I wanted to add some mushrooms to one, and it was going to cost me $3.75 to add mushrooms to a pizza. And so I called another place, and she said a total different story. And I said, I'm going to call your corporate office and ask. I usually don't even bother. I just call the corporate office and say, is this what you really $3.75, and you'll probably put just a little handful of mushrooms on it? Because that's what they do, if it's even a handful. Oh, but see, this kind of thing, so much is makes you feel dramatic, because they have an attitude of, well, yeah, that's what we do. You know, like it's nothing. We're going to get an extra couple bucks, you know, because it's usually $1.75. But they're going to get an extra couple of bucks. But yeah, that's just what we do. And you're just supposed to accept things. That's a lot of what I see around here is, you know, I call it narcissismville. And it actually has a reputation. I didn't give it the reputation. I first heard about the place like 30 years ago, and and what I heard about it was that the reputation, the narcissistic behavior, people had narcissistic behaviors. Of course, it's a stereotype, and it's not everybody. But yeah, and within it's more of an area, and within it, these kinds of things happen so often. It's so often just a ripoff, or somebody's going to treat you bad. Just some stranger, you go into a store, the cashier could do it, might do it. And, you know, it's not everybody. But they're going to put you on a defensive and try to rip you off, really, somehow. And part of the place, most of that area is very wealthy. Okay, so yeah, I have to chill out because the attitude of you just have to accept it. We're going to do this. No, I just turn around and walk out the door and call your corporate office and let them know what you're doing. You know? But the whole attitude, they're going to make a couple bucks. I was going to get 2 pizzas, so they were going to get $4 extra, you know, off of me. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So I didn't get them. I didn't get pizzas, and I walked out. Okay, and then I came up here to this other place. Hey, woman, you got it a little close there. I'm telling you. So I went over to this other place, and as I ordered, I have to go in there. There's no drive-through. It's a nice place, and I walked in and ordered something, and came back out, and the street person came chasing, ma'am. I said, no. I have learned here that you have to yell, or they will not stop. If you show any weakness, oh man, they're on top of you. But I don't show any weakness, so I just say no very loud. Yeah, I tell you, you kind of have to be a bit theatrical yourself. Whew, really. Okay, I think I'll separate this video from the one I was making. I was making a video about people that I run across with a narcissistic-histrionic blend. And right in the middle of it, I was, like I said, I was doing errands, you know, going to get something for Friday night, you know, instead of cooking. And that happened. So I noticed I had a break between those two that video and these clips. Those clips and these clips, okay. I'll get it out in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and separate them. But do you experience something like that? Do you know, you're just trying to do business, and it's to me that just seemed too suspicious. And I could be totally wrong. Maybe they're right. Okay, if they have this special going on, but I can't say that they're right. The last time that they had a special was just like not even a month ago, and they let me do it for $1.75 extra. This time, they're going to raise it $3.75 extra on each one. And I'm like, no. So it makes it very suspicious. So like I said, I called another location, and they said a different one. And I said, so that's your ripoff. And then the other one, this is what they do over there. Then I said, I want to speak to your manager. And it came up some young person that didn't sound like at all a manager, and told me that, yeah, that's what it is. And I said, does your corporate office know that? And they said, yeah, of course, because they're the ones that do it, that set it up. And I said, well, I'm going to find out. So, but yeah, I'm so used to, there's no reason a handful of mushrooms on a pizza is going to be $3.75. It might be where you live, but that's unusual. It's usually $1.75. Like I said, they're just trying to make an extra couple of bucks. That's how it seems to me. There's no reason for that to be any different. And they said it's because it puts it in a totally different section on their computer. God, anything. Really. So maybe they didn't want it for themselves, or they were just ignorant of how it would work, how life would work. Nobody's going to lose customers. There used to be a thing called customer service. I did a whole video about that. Not anymore. Let's rip them off. And by the way, I know it's not 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I just had a vent. Yeah. I live in a place where you become kind of histrionic to have to deal with them, or you have to become tough. Really, you have to become tough and know when to just say, screw you, I'm not going to be allowing you to take advantage of me, and I will call your corporate office and let them know too. And the funny thing is, anytime I've ever done that, when I call the corporate office, they say, no ma'am, not on that pizza, I haven't called the corporate office yet, but anything else, when something weird is happening, when I would call the corporate office, which would not be located anywhere near here, they would tell me, no ma'am, that was wrong, they should not have done that. It's always the same. It's always the same. No ma'am, they shouldn't have done that. I'm not stupid, I'm not young, and I'm not naive. Okay, so anyway, wrapping it up. I think I got my vent out.